A very good day, my dear undergraduate exam going students, which means BDS and MBBS, particularly MBBS. And these are the references that I have got your book. You must be having your book open. The topics that I will be covering will be this. In the first session, I shall be taking about 3 slides. It is not 3 topics, 3 slides. And please do remember, it is an open book system. I also can be having a book with me so that I am able to scroll through the topics very easily. The first one is edema. When we go to the topic on edema, always in general pathology, I have told you people, there should be definitions, definitions, and definitions. And your definition should be exactly from the book. No worn words, please. So you find edema will be, there will be an increase in whatever it is. Go to the definition. And as you people see, it need not be in the interstitium, it can be in the body cavities also. So find out whether you are able to locate the body cavities. And as I turn, there can be the various causes for edema. When I say causes, it can be a localized edema, it can be a generalized edema, or it can be a regional edema. So what can be the causes? So see whether you are able to find out the various causes. Lymphatic obstruction, there can be a pedal edema in filariasis. Left heart failure, there can be a pulmonary edema. Right heart failure, there can be ascites. So, and in hyponatremia that you get in a case of nephrotic syndrome, you can develop a generalized anasarca. So all this you people will have to explain because it is an essay question. What are all the various causes? This one is another favorite one of mine, transudate and exudate. In my book and notes, in R.A.T.S, I would have given a tabular column explaining the differences between transudate and exudate. Please go through it. Summarily, I used to say, exudate, everything is in excess. The color will be in excess, the specific gravity will be in excess, the cellularity will be in excess. But then there is a very good tabular column, kindly go through it. Pathophysiology of edema. So there are 2 things. There is a cardiac edema and then there is a renal edema flow diagram. Without flow diagram, 50% of your answers. I want the flow diagram. Not only in theory, but in Viva also, we will be asked the Starling's hypothesis. Please see whether you have located the flow diagram, then the Starling's hypothesis. So, the edema will be, why do you get a movement of space or fluid? It can be because of the increase in the hydrostatic pressure, decrease in the oncotic pressure, or both. That is Starling's hypothesis. Robbins is a beautiful book. R.A.T.S, my notes is fantastic. Tips is a wonderful one. Others and your book. Please keep your book open. Otherwise, everything will be Greek and Latin to you. Please see whether you have located all this in your book. Organs involved. Again, what are all the various organs? Specifically, pulmonary edema can be asked. Is it clear? In a case of a cardiac failure, wherein you get the heart failure cells. The pathogenesis and the organ changes will be important. Pulmonary edema is one. And another one can be the liver, wherein you can get a congestion. So the organ changes are important. The next topic that I would like you people to touch upon is infarct. An infarct is an area of localized necrosis caused by the sudden, complete, and irreversible occlusion to the vascular flow. Vascular means it can be an artery or a vein, etc. Find out these definitions and stick to the definitions. So that will be important. The types of infarct. So see whether you are able to locate the types of infarct. Red infarct, good. White infarct. Then there is also something called septic and bland. See whether you are able to locate it. Very good. You have found that. So what is the morphology in the infarct? Why is an infarct wedge shape? What is a myocardial infarction? How does it appear? What is the condition where you get multiple infarcts? And what are the factors affecting the development of an infarct? For example, a young man with high hemoglobin will not develop. Similarly, you find that areas with good collateral circulation, all these are given in your Robbins, in your books. See that we are able to find. There are some regions with a dual arterial supply. Lung, for example, liver, for example. Some with a single artery called the end artery, which is notorious for development of infarct. These things we'll have to mention. Venous congestion. It can be again active, it can be chronic. Chronic venous congestion, CVC lung or CVC of the spleen, CVC of the liver. The nutmeg liver is a classical question. Gandy-Gamma body is a MCQ that is repeatedly asked. They can be also specimens for us. So by itself, CVC will not be asked as a question, but they will touch us in multiple sites. So please be aware of it. The types of infarct. And these are the references, R.A.T.S, tips, your own book, Robbins, if it is possible. I am just showing this to emphasize the importance of the circulatory system. The next one is, of course, embolism. As I told you, people will have to define. General pathology is definition. Embolus means it is a solid, liquid, or gaseous particle that can cause obstruction. Students simply say thromboembolism. So there is air embolism, foreign body embolism, so on. See that you people know the definition. What are all the various types? Caisson's disease can be asked as a question, and you people will have to connect it with air embolism. Fat embolism in the case of fractures. See whether you are able to locate it. So the fat globules can cause obstruction. Ruptured placenta, amniotic fluid, along with the fetal lanugo hair and squamous, they can cause obstruction. See whether you are able to locate all this in your book. And foreign body. Sometimes it can be suture material, and there are vague instances of even a bullet traveling to a distant site. So these are all the various types of embolism. You people will have to define and then say. Sometimes you can get showers of emboli. A thrombus will be there, it fragments, multiple. Showers of emboli are classically seen. Paradoxical embolism, one of my favorite questions. You find that there will be a septal defect from one part of the heart, it goes to the other region through the septum. And sometimes it can be very agonal at the site of bifurcation of the pulmonary artery. It causes an obstruction with immediate. So embolism, very important university question. All the questions in circulatory disturbances are essay questions.